So yeah, the recording has started. So the agenda, folks, here is that these 2.5 months are important from the point of view that your summer internship interviews begin in the month of September onwards, right? You join the college in July, you hardly get around 2 months, and then ultimately, those 2 months you will have a lot of shows to perform, your acads, your sessions, and everything, and hence it becomes very overwhelming, during that time. So for the same, we have kept this session. So what we'll do here is, number one is that I'll be giving you a very brief 5 to 8 minutes of an intro about what exactly one needs to do in these 2 months, followed by the queries, the doubts, whatever you have, even if it's a silly doubt according to you, feel free to ask. And also, thank our mentors, Adesh, Kaustubh, Karan, Akash, all these people. They were the past year or past year students who were associated with and who are associated with MBA Partner as well. And these guys, I would say, are the ones who really leveraged this time to the best of their abilities. And I think they are reaping the results now. Basically, they are getting into the good companies, doing the internships, or the full-time offers. I cannot reveal their companies because of the clauses and all that the colleges give to them. But yeah, so thanks to the mentors as well who have joined. There is a doubt on the chat which Purva has asked. So Purva, I think this is a very common doubt, that how do we utilize these months. So I'll take these 5-7 minutes to give you an idea about what exactly one needs to do, and then the floor will be open for you. Our mentors will be resolving your queries whatsoever you have. Okay, so I'm quickly presenting my screen. Just let me know if it's visible. Do not give me thumbs up here. I'm on the Excel sheet, so I won't be able to see the visible. Okay, great. Cool. So I'll keep on, pausing in between because there are folks who are joining, so I have to admit them. So I'll quickly tell you, what are the timelines. The colleges generally begin in the June end or July beginning. Okay. So this is the time, April and May that we have. And for that matter, maybe June that we have, maybe 70, 80 days, right? Now, what we need to do in the 70, 80 days is the question, right? So every one of us know that in the placements, be it summers, be it final placements, our CV gets shortlisted, our profile gets shortlisted to a CV, right? But the CV which is there required in MBA is quite different from the CVs that we generally prepare. Quite a few of you would already be having a work experience. Even I was in the same boat, having around 3 years of experience when I joined my college. A confident guy that one page of CV is, is very chill and normal for me because I have a work experience, I have blah, 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 blah. But unfortunately, this is not how an MBA CV works, right? It needs to be balanced. And when we say balanced, what does a balanced CV mean? So few things to keep in mind. First is that a CV needs to be of one page, right? And in this one page, you cannot write your roles and responsibilities. I was working in the finance, working on financial modeling, doesn't matter. What you have to write is the impact that you have created in whatever work you have done, be it your acads, be it your internships, be it your life projects, be it your positions of responsibility, whatsoever. And hence, the very first important thing I'll tell you guys is that in these 2 months, reach out to your colleges, reach out to your schools for whatever you want to mention in your CV. Why? Because you will be required to have each and every point of your CV approved over an email. If you do not have a CV point which is approved through an email, you will not be able to write it in your MBA, even if you have a certificate for that. For example, I won Olympiad. Now I'm writing it in my CV that, okay, academically I won an Olympiad. I cannot write. Why? Because ChatGPT ka time hai, Gemini ka time hai, I can simply write my name. I can simply write Adesh Gupta, Olympiad, maths winners and everything, right? So that is something which is never get approved. Okay. So number one is that you need to reach out to all the respective stakeholders who will be, approving your points in the near future. This is one. Now coming to the second part, which is CV skeleton. Okay. Now, what do you mean by CV skeleton? So then I'm just telling you how typically an MBA CV looks like. So it begins with qualification, which is very pretty normal, 4 points in a tabular format where you write about your BTech, 10th, 12th, as well as MBA. There is a line for MBA as well. This is common, and in a one-pager CV, we need to have at least 30 points, right? So 4 points are sorted for everyone. Then comes academic achievements. Now here you can write, I was a topper. I was, a continuous kind of a performer, consistent performer or something, right? You can write about Olympiads, as I mentioned. A lot of people do write about, publications as well, if they have any during their college time, graduation time and everything. And then, one more thing is required. That is what we say is your percentiles. Now, a lot of people mention their CAT percentiles. Let me be very honest and frank. If you are joining an institute, which let's say comes in tier 2 and you have got a 99 percentile, you can mention it in your CV. That let's say I am in a baby IIM even after getting 98, 99 percentile due to whatsoever reason, because a lot of your batchmates will not be at 99 or 98 percentile of CAT. RNR is roles and responsibilities, Prathamesh. However, if you are, let's say, going in a college like IIM Ahmedabad, and there you are writing 99 percentile as an academic achievement, it's useless. Rather, it's deteriorates your profile, because a recruiter who is coming at IIM Ahmedabad, he knows, they are already aware that इस बच्चे की 98, 99 percentile होगी. So it doesn't make any sense to write an achievement which is very common, throughout your campus. So that is something you have to keep in your mind. So a lot of people falter here because neither they were toppers, nor they were consistent, nor they had Olympiads and everything, and we actually cannot do anything about it, right? And hence this bucket is something which is already fixed. You cannot change it. Then the second bucket which comes is your internship. A lot of you would have, done internships in your graduation. A lot of you might have gaps where you did internships or some sort of activities. One thing I would suggest, never write an NGO experience as an internship. Why? Because maybe 3-4 years ago, it was very common. It was not so common, but nowadays, every second or third CV I see for a fresher, they are having an experience in NGO. And trust me, you will not be paid 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh, 1.5 lakh a month as an intern for working in an NGO. Okay, you can write about NGO, but not as an internship, rather as a POR. POR will discuss what it is. Okay, so this is again something which is fixed only. We cannot change. However, I always say to my students that ethics are very important, honesty is very important, but ultimately, if you are 100% honest in MBA, you have to have a stellar performance or profile. Otherwise, thoda bahut chalta hai. Internship ke liye, I will suggest, if you do not have any internships in your graduation time, try to get manage something out of it. Even I had only one internship. When I joined my campus, I was in an old IIM. And as I mentioned earlier, that I was quite confident that one page CV to bani jayega. But then I also had to do that jugaad of a second internship by some, of my notes. Because at the end of the day, your CV needs to be balanced. You cannot have everything about your work. It's only in the one page CV. Then come life projects. A lot of, colleges have internships and life projects as one bucket. And generally, if you have done internships, then there might not be need of life projects. However, you also need to see कि internship का impact क्या है. If you have done an internship in a content writing, let's say, right, it might not help you, because even if you are going for a marketing sales role, they will be checking your strategic decision making skills. They will not be checking whether you have a good content creating skills or not. Why? Because no big FMCG, no big these companies kind of hire an MBA for content creation. Content can be created nowadays with AI as well, right? So you also have to look at the impact, as I mentioned here, impact that your internship has. If your internship does not have impact, these mentors also will tell a lot of students go for the life projects. And trust me, this is one of the finest options. Why? Because number one, it gives you an experience and exposure about MBA level skills in these 2 months. You do a lot of research based, tasks and projects, and ultimately you get 4-5 CV points as well with ATS keywords. I think ATS, if you are not aware of, ATS is application tracking system. It's very simple. Kaustav is from IIM Bangalore. He has a batch size of around 400-500 students. If his college placement committee is sending all the CVs to a panel, to a recruiter, No recruiter, no HR has a time that they will review all the CVs one by one and give a shortlist. Okay, these 50 students are shortlisted for the interview. They do not have that much bandwidth. It's technically not possible, right? And hence they simply put it on Naukri.com, which is the common platform which all these big corporates use, and they use the Resdex of Naukri.com. Resdex gives you a feature as an HR that you put some keywords like, okay, in consulting I want M&A, in consulting I want market research, in consulting I want let's say go to market or something related to profitability. And if anyone who has these points or these words in their CV, they will get a shortlist. As simple as that. And hence this becomes very powerful, and this is not yet fixed. You still have 2.5 months to go about doing these type of projects, right? And then the next part comes is case competitions, right? So while a lot of you might not have come across case comps in your graduation, some of you might have also come across. This does not only form a very important part of CV. This also is actually quite important for your jobs as well. For example, let's say you are from again baby IIM, where a company like McKinsey or let's say Microsoft doesn't come on campus, right? However, let's say they have opened the case competition for you guys, at a baby IIM. And now if you perform very well in that case competition, you will be getting a pre-placement interview, PPI. If you crack that interview, you will be getting a role at Microsoft at the same package which they give to a student who is coming from probably ABC. Okay, so this is very important. And if you have done case competitions in your graduation itself much before MBA, it really helps you getting a good number of shortlists, right? Again, case competition is something even we at MBA Partner kind of provide to students, where we give them Canva Premium, where we give them all these templates and everything, premium templates, which you will not be getting through LinkedIn and all. And these sessions are actually taken by AIR1. So Yash Desai is there. You can check his LinkedIn as well. So this is also something which is very important. Then the next part which comes in your CV is ECAs, which is extracurricular activities. You were a good, let's say a dancer. You used to have good amount of, music, maybe sports, cricket, volleyball, football, whatsoever. So you need to have good number of points in your ECAs as well. And then comes PORs. PORs is positions of responsibility. Okay, you were a member of entrepreneurship cell. You were the head of placement committee. You were the member of finance club, marketing club, whatsoever in your graduation time. All right. And then ultimately, last but not the least, is certifications. This is something I always tell to my students. They do not go with certificates from Udemy or Coursera. And for that matter, I'll write it here: Coursera, Udemy, Forage, Skilled Sapiens. Why I'm saying this is because my younger brother, he's kind of is done with 12th. His 12th standard, and now if he goes to Coursera, Udemy, Forage, Skills CPN and pays a fee of whatever 1,500, 2,000, he'll get the same certificate which you might get now while entering into MBA. So recruiters don't pay heed to it. And it is generally considered during my college days, it was told by our seniors to us that, yeah, guys, see, if you do Coursera and Udemy in your CV, that means you're a weak profile hold. ठीक है, तो ये नहीं करने, अच्छी जगह से करो. There are a lot of places, Google Analytics courses are there. KPMG provides Six Sigma courses. There are finance courses by NISM and everything. Even NISM is becoming very common now, but still better than Coursera, Udemy, right? So now if I conclude, I think I have taken more than 10 minutes. Now if I conclude, your CV needs to be balanced, and these 30 points need to be divided into qualification. 4 points are fixed: academic achievements, internship, life project, case comp, ECA, POR, certification. If you have all these points in your CV in the form of impact rather than roles and responsibilities, then I think hands down you will not be losing on any shortlist until and unless you have other weak sections in your profile. कि मेरा graduation में grade 7 CGPA रह गया था, and some company has filtered all those people who have got 7 or below. So those are the constraints which we cannot do. These are the fixed constraints. Okay. So I think Purva asked this question, that what to do in these 2.5 months. So the idea is very clear. Prepare a CV. If you go to our website, which is www.mbapartner.in, you will be getting a repository of free CVs. So you'll be getting CVs across 40, 50 CVs across profiles. Look at those CVs, look at these buckets, start filling your points from today onwards, right? Make sure your point should be of one line only. You cannot have a point which is of more than a single line. Okay? ऐसा नहीं है कि पूरा पेज भरना है तो 10 ही पॉइंट लिख दे तीन तीन लाइन. ठीक है? Start filling it, and wherever you feel I am lacking, fill that gap. As simple as that. Why? Because the moment you enter the college, nobody gets time. Even if you are pro, you will not get any time, because morning to evening you'll have classes, you'll have all these quizzes, then in August itself you will have your midterms, then you also would like to be a part of case forms, clubs and committees, and ultimately parties and as well, right? तो ये बहुत जरूरी है, ये कर लेना. With that, I think I'll stop this monologue, and now feel free to ask the questions, unmute yourself, ask the questions. Our mentors are here. I and along with them, we'll be happy enough to resolve your queries.
Yeah, I had a question regarding the profile.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to know, like, since you guys are from top IIMs, like, do people, like, do the recruiters have certain criteria about gap years? Like, up to how many gap years are acceptable for them?
I'll take this question up so much. So,
Yeah.
see, I have personally worked on Naukri.com, okay, rest text platform that I was talking about. So there is a filter which also asks a recruiter about the number of years, but years of gap. But let me be very honest, they do not generally fill this. I think only 5 or 10 out of 100 companies would take into consideration this gap. Otherwise, no. If I tell you, in my campus during my time, there were people with a gap of 1.5 years getting into, a good corporate like BCG. And we have one mentor here as well who prepared for UPSC with a gap of 3, 4 years and still got into one of the biggest FMCG companies. So I guess that mentor is already here. If he wants to share his story, please go ahead, bro.
Yeah, hi Arman, hi everyone. I would be happily sharing my profile and the story that went behind it. So I did my bachelor's in economics, then I, prepared for UPSC for a long time. And that was my biggest fear before joining my college. But during the placement process also, there were times, I would not say that it was not difficult, because people who did not have that gap and had everything similar. So they were also fresher, they also had similar 997 kind of grades, but just that they did not have the gap, and so they got more shortlist than me. But it is not that you will not get those opportunities yourself, so you'll always have that, the top companies shortlisting you, and then it is you in the interview how you're defending it. And that is the time where you can maybe also highlight whatever you've done in internships, or something around NGO or extracurricular. But this is just for internships. When you move towards your final placements, things change completely, because that is the time where gaps do not matter so much, because in the last 2 years you would have done a lot around, say, live projects, case competitions. And that is where an MBA partner, something like that, also comes in picture, because this is the place where you can actually boost and kind of undo the things that you have done in terms of your gap, and that is how you'll boost your profile. So yes, that was my experience pretty much.
Thanks, Adesh. And one more thing, we do have Himani as well here. So she's currently, I think, Asia, Oceania, Atlanta. I don't know what she was telling me there in the evening. She is the HR head there of Nestle. So, as an HR head, because she also probably goes to the campus, she can also share the insights how exactly this gap year impacts a student's profile in MBA. Himani, are you there?
I'm here. So, I think, like you guys mentioned, gap year doesn't have a huge impact if there are factors like, like Adesh was mentioning, you've done case comps, you've done live projects, or you have certain points that kind of show the practicality of the theory that you learn in your MBA to compensate for that gap. So, a lot of times there are people who don't have a gap in their CV but still lack a lot of skills, practical skills on their CV. They don't have a lot of stuff to talk about in the interview. So that's where their profiles lack. And there are two steps when a lot of students do get rejected. One is the CV only gets rejected because it's not impactful enough. And like the admin was mentioning, right? Even if you have like a 3 to 5 years experience, and you have done a lot of R&R, roles and responsibilities, you cannot mention that on your CV as it is. You have to have an impact through the points or roles that you have done through those experience. So that is one side of it, and that's how your CV gets selected. Then other thing is how much you're able to justify what you have written in your CV. So I think if you're able to cover up for all of these things, then a gap might not have a lot of impact. I will not deny there are some companies who have that filter on ATS or basically Resdex to filter out CVs which have a gap in their which have a gap. But yeah, there are that number is pretty low, and the likes of big companies, FMCG and all, there is a chance that that might not impact your chances to get placed. And there are a lot of companies that will come on your campus. So eventually, you should have material on your CV that can compensate for the gap that you have prior to joining MBA. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thanks,
you.
Imani. Thanks so much for the question. Guys, feel free to ask.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
I have
hello.
one question. Can I speak?
Yes, yes, guys, this session is for you. Do not ask. Can I speak? Go ahead.
So, like I have like in my class 10th, I scored around 56 percentage because of some health issues. But in class 12th, I scored around 90, and in the undergraduation, again the the scoring, the final score was around 56%. So, like I have heard from my friends, like in many companies after during the MBA placements kind of do not select the students with the less than 60 percentage in their class 10th 12th and kind of thing. Is it true? And if it is true, what are the options that I have?
See, Ravi, totally depends which college you are going into. If you are getting into an old IIM, let's say, or college like SP Jain, IIM Mumbai, uh, Accelerate, these colleges. So here, by fortune, even if you do not have a very great acads, you still get a decent placement. But let's say you are below these colleges, then it will impact, to be very honest. And as earlier mentioned as well, these are the fixed things. You cannot do anything for it. A lot of companies, yes, they do filter on the acads part, so you will miss out on the opportunities. But agar uske alawa, you have the other things very strong in your CV, and that's what these 2.5 months are for. Do not waste these months just thinking ki kya kare, kya na kare. A lot of people I see are perplexed what to do, what not to do, and then they come in the month of August ki sir samajh nahi aa raha, CV ek page ka nahi ban raha, sir kya kare and all that. And then that is the time when it's a loose situation, right? So yes, it will impact. I cannot sugarcoat it. That it will not. But yeah, you can always try to maximize the other buckets of your CV that we have just mentioned here, and maybe it helps you. I don't know if any of our mentors have this type of profile in their grad or school. If they have, they can pitch as well in between. Maybe Vidhi and I think Vidhi ko to nahi hoga, she is from SRCC. But yeah, if other mentors.
So I would like to like share my experience personally. So I don't have like a 5, I have a 7 in my profile with a gap that I already mentioned. So it still brought some problems, but I did get in. But I had a friend who had like a 5 in the profile. And in that case, obviously you can't expect to be in all the shortlists. But then here again comes the catch of case competitions. Because then via case competitions, you get access to the top companies and directly get that PPI or maybe PPO in best case. So then these are the times where you can avoid the entire loop and get to the top. And then once you're in that PPI, you've done, say, case competitions, you've become the national winner or the campus winner also for that matter. So that is where you completely dodge the whole thing and get into that interview. And that is the interview for case comps is also very different, that you should know. So it will not be around why your grades are low or why do you have gap for that matter. It will be largely about what you have done in that case competition. So once you are, say, associated with somebody who can guide you through all of this, in this case maybe MBA partner, then you can say charter through the case competitions and get in, avoiding the grade thing, the gap thing altogether. So that is something you need to be like prepared for from the very beginning.
Thank you, Adesh. And one more question that I have. Like after completing my undergraduation, I got enrolled into master's degree in political science. I also did my undergraduation in political science and history. So does that having master's would be kind of a kind become a brownie point?
Ravi, one point or one part of your CV will not take you. And of course, it will help somewhere, but it will not take you to a desired goal. You need to have everything in a good way, and that is the irony. We used to say during our college days, कि अगर इतनी अच्छी profile होती, we would have probably got package even before our MBA and all. But that is a fact. Yes, it will help, but you cannot solely rely on only one part, because ultimately, yeah, you are competing with the other peers as well. And if they are in your same camp college, you cannot undermine them. They are of the same level. है ना? So in my college time, there were IITians, IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, कि यार हम तो IIT के. And maybe a person from a Ramjas college graduation would make them behind in terms of placements. So do not, just because their CV was more balanced. They did not only have IIT, they had a lot of other things too.
Uh,
Uh,
admin,
mhm.
hi,
Yeah, Akash.
yeah, hi, admin. I would like to pitch it over in this particular point. So,
So
hi,
Akash, you
everyone.
can introduce as well
Yeah, yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, hi, everyone. Hi, guys. My name is Akash Sinha. I'm currently studying at TISS Mumbai. I'm in my final year. And I could actually take up this question because even in my batch, we have multiple students who have uh, already have done their masters in some or the other domain. But as admin had suggested, they might have an edge over there. But again, in the interview, the question arises: if you had identified your path over there, why now doing this particular thing? So over there, so it is a two-edged sword or double-edged sword, whatever you can say. And how do you portray that? And adding to that, when you have that thing, the necessity aspect of it, and how do you actually create a balanced CV where you suggest that whatever my interests were, how now what are my interests are. So the alignment of CV is very much important as compared to getting those brownie points, because it creates a doubt in the mind of the interviewer as well. That what has been the necessity of again doing a master's with regards to this program when you have already completed one. So that is something which you need to idealize and portray over there. That is the necessity aspect.
Yeah, thanks, Akash. Purva, you can go ahead.
Thanks, sis.
Yeah, thank you. So my question was that here in the buckets that you have provided, you have mentioned internships, but like I have 3 years of work experience. So do I not mention that, or like
See,
uh,
you need to mention, as I mentioned in the very beginning, I also had around 3 years of experience.
yeah,
So, but when you prepare your CV, you cannot have half page of your CV as your work ex, even if you have created a lot of impact. You need to have internship as well, right? Because typically, if I tell you in my summer internship, I didn't get a shortlist of MBB, and MBB is McKinsey BCGB, and I think all of you would be aware of, even after having a very strong profile. And the only reason was that somewhere I missed out on balancing it pretty well. But in my second year, with the help of case competitions, with the help of an investment banking project that luckily I got through one of my seniors, there I got a shortlist from one of these MBBs. And so yes, it's very important to balance it up, even if you have 3 4 years of experience. And one more thing, guys, this case competition part that I mentioned, if you want a pre-MBA kind of a case comp experience, MBA partner in collaboration with Broadmark Consultants Private Limited. They also, release their case competition in the month of June, right? So if you enroll being a part there, you're automatically, there for the case comp as well. And I think last year, if I tell you, almost every college students have joined, and I am Jammu's team has won. So they got a good amount of. I think one of the students there got placed into Accenture because of that. क्योंकि उसका पूरा case comp discussion चला. So that's also very important. So Purva, yeah, ultimately internship you have to mention. Vidhi, Himani, Kaustubh, Karan, if you guys have anything to pitch into, please feel free to go ahead with the process.
Yeah,
so
I'll just add something here. So,
hi.
hi everyone. I'm Karan Pawar. I'm currently at IIM Shillong. So, as it was just mentioned that even if you have a lot of good work experience, you can't fill your CV with that, because even I was in a similar situation where I had 3 years of work ex and I had done a lot of things where I could quantify the impact quite well. So, I could have filled the whole CV with that. but that doesn't work because you need to have a balanced CV. Only then you'll get shortlisted. So I also looked at my CV, looked at where I could improve. So I saw that a live project was probably the best way of making an impact in a very short time. So I also took a live project from MBA Partner, which helped sort of balance my CV. Other than that, about mentioning internships, so I had a couple of internships, so I mentioned those as well because it shows that you've done different sorts of work in different fields. So it just balances out your CV a lot more, other than just mentioning your work experience, because almost everyone has that. So if you have good amount of points from different sections which I mentioned here, then that will make your CV more balanced, more well-rounded, and it will increase your chances of getting shortlisted by a company. So do try to look at what are your weaknesses and try to fill those gaps as well as possible in these next couple of months, because that will improve your CV a lot rather than just mentioning points which you already have. Try to look at whatever section is weak for your CV and work on that. Especially case competitions and live projects are the most probably the best way of improving your CV at this point with 2 months left, because you can still work on that and add a few more pointers related to that. So that would be my advice.
Okay, thank you. I just have actually one more question. In certifications, you mentioned like from which platforms we should be considering doing it. But can you also help understand like what kind of certifications we should focus in? Like if I'm going in, I want to go specialize in marketing. So what kind of certification should I focus in?
Okay, so Purva, for marketing, like there is an SPSS tool. So SPSS is a market research tool. So you can do that type of certificate. If you want to do something in digital marketing, so there are Google AdWords certificates. Do not do a certificate like digital marketing, fundamentals of marketing. वो सब मत करना बस.
हाँ हाँ वो सब तो
Do
हाँ yeah.
do these type of certificates. I think Vidhi also will pitch better. I think she is into uh, marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vidhi, go ahead.
Yes. So for marketing is as Edwin has already mentioned, do not really just go for fundamental of digital marketing, AI marketing or something like that. Try to hold onto a big software, I would say. And also regarding, so when you mention marketing, try to have the diverse set of certificates. So make any good command in any software. And another thing, guys, focus on research also. If you have done so far, so also mention that, because even in my interview, they asked me a lot about that. And life project is, as Karan has also mentioned, these 2 months, just to focus on that. And Purva, you can have like from this MBA platform only, you can do the marketing projects also, because it will
Okay.
clearly mention your, interest in
Yeah.
the marketing field. So add on, like do that if you really are focused on just one field. But if you want to have a like common field or a generic, then you can do in marketing strategy as well.
And I am from marketing background itself, like from for graduation
Okay.
also I've done in marketing. So should I be
Okay.
doing things like SQL, Power BI, things like that?
You
Yes,
can just do it, yeah. You can do it just to add on in your skills. It's always good.
Okay, okay. Thank you so
definitely
much.
it helps. Sabina, I'll come back to your question. Just allow me a minute. There are three almost similar questions on the chat. So see, guys, MBA partner, if I tell you, MBA partner is mainly about placements preparation. Okay. But a couple of years ago, we went into collaboration with a consulting company by the name Broadmark Consultants Private Limited. Okay, so this is a company which mainly works for the MSME clients, because a company like McKinsey never works for a very small client, right? So now, if you, let's say, want to experience how exactly consultants go about preparing pitch decks, doing analysis, coming up with the strategies. That's where you can enroll for a project with MBA partner. The moment you enroll with us, you will be guided by the, of course, the mentors would be something which MBA partner would provide. So how it happens is that every weekend sessions happen. So that would probably begin from 10th of April this year. Last year it was 15th of April. So every weekend you will have a 1 or 1.5 hours of session. Let's say if it's about consulting, it teaches you the ins and outs of a particular case, let's say a profitability case, that how exactly a profitability issue is identified, and then the root cause analysis is done, and ultimately your presentation is prepared, which you show it to the client. And that's what consulting is about. And then once that session is over, you get a month to go about uh, doing that particular hand work which you have learned in that session by yourself. You pick up a company, let's say Aditya Birla Group, whatever, right? Okay, its profit is declining, and then you find out the reasons, you prepare the presentation, you present it to us the very next week. The moment you present it to us, of course, in the next weekend, there would be the second session. Second session would be about, let's say, merger and acquisitions. How exactly due diligence happens. Similarly, if somebody is from marketing like Purva is, so uh, in marketing, one has to understand what is brand analysis, how exactly cannibalization impact is estimated, how exactly BCG metrics work, right? So all these type of, so we have operations, consulting, finance, marketing, HR, everything, right? HR, workforce planning, L&D models and everything. So you get to learn everything in a session over a weekend, and then in that weekend you work on a particular task basis that session. Then next week, next session, next task, and so on and so forth till, if you go for a 1 month project, then 4 weeks. If you go for a 2 month project, then 8 weeks. Ideally, a lot of students go for 2 months because that's more realistic. You understand more because 1 month basics mein nikal jata hai generally. And that's where you get a hands-on experience of doing this type of a work in every aspect possible. You get a certificate of completion, you get 4-5 CV points, you mention it in your CV, your CV gets boosted, you mention the name Prodma Consultants Private Limited, not MBA Partner. We also provide Power BI and Advanced Excel certification, that is under MBA Partner. उसमें हमारा कोई tie-up. Okay. Now, if you want to enroll, as I have written also on the Excel itself in the first 3 rows, we have this website, mbapartner.in. Look at the website. Since our mentors are from top B schools and we do put a lot of efforts, we do not give these projects at one. I was just looking at some random groups and I was finding people doing it at 1,000, 2,000. I don't really understand what you guys will learn out of it. And so, and this early bird offer is going on probably till Saturday EOD. So you can apply early bird 20, you will get 20% off as well. And mostly on 10th of April, we'll be kickstarting our live project sessions as well under Prodma Consultants Private Limited. Case competition is something which will begin somewhere in the month of May, because this guy, Yash Desai, who is All India Rank 1, usse meri baat hui thi, he's currently working on a Dubai project. And because of some issues in the Dubai economy and everything, he's not getting time at least in the month of April. And I don't want to compromise on the quality of mentor. I do not say ki AIR1 best hi hoga, but at least his rank justifies it. And last year also he was really amazing when he took that. Okay. So this is how, on the website you get to, do these projects. Now, a lot of students do go for LinkedIn for searching life projects and everything. Let me be very honest. You can only get a good level of a life project through a reference. कोई भी आपको life project नहीं देगा, even if you're an IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta student. Why? Because नहीं देते यार, मतलब अल्टीमेटली उनको हमारे जैसे 100 बच्चे मैसेज करते हैं, दे डू नॉट इवन रीड आवर मैसेजेस. एंड अगर आप नॉर्मल रैंडम लाइफ प्रोजेक्ट करोगे, जैसे अभी कुछ बच्चे लिख रहे हैं, आई हैव एन एक्सपीरियंस विद द रिटेल बिजनेस ऑफ माय फैमिली. सी, क्वालिटी of work matters a lot. Retail business is very good. I do not undermine it. I cannot undermine it. But ultimately, recruiters do undermine it. Why? Because they are having a lot of students who have a better work experience, right? So now what to do? Cover up with life projects, cover up with case forms, cover up with certificates, right? And I'll also share a list of certificates and the sources through which you can do those certificates over the WhatsApp group. Okay. I probably have not shared it. I have it somewhere in my repository. And baki jisko CV banana hai, we already have, pasted all these free CV repositories and everything on the website itself. Just go there, download those CVs and start filling it. We have also, pasted some compendiums. Some students were asking me, sir, मेरे को IIM Calcutta का finance का compendium चाहिए and everything. So I have already, pasted it on the website itself. Okay. So now coming back to the question, Sabine, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. My question is, I am a fresher, so I don't have any internships. I just so enrolled for the live projects. So what can I do for the internship part? Like, could you suggest any things I can do in these 2 months?
As I mentioned, a lot of colleges consider live projects and internships common. So even at MBA Partner, if I tell you, last year, a lot of students in the month of August came to us कि sir, live project और internship में ना हमारे college वाले बोल रहे हैं that internships are more beneficial. It just took us 24 hours to, give them a different certificate that mentions completion of internship rather than completion of live project, because ultimately these are same. The only difference between live project and internship is that in the live project, you can do it while you are in the campus. Generally, internships you do when you're not in the campus. That's the main difference. Otherwise, दोनों में काम same होता है. Maybe responsibilities are a little more or a little deeper in internship, if I say. And so if you want, Sabine, after a couple of months, I know you have enrolled, I guess, for consulting projects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can also get a certificate of internship for that. That's not an issue. And see, Prodmark as a company always, gets value for the recruiters because number one, इसमें ना कहीं पर ये नहीं लिखा हुआ कि ये MBA पार्टनर है या ये मतलब आई कैन नॉट नेम ऑल दीज कंपनीज बट वो MBA के नाम से सर्टिफिकेट्स देते हैं. जस्ट इमेजिन यार, यू आर गिविंग एन इंटरव्यू टू अ कंपनी और आप वहां पे लिख रहे हो मैंने MBA पार्टनर का लाइफ प्रोजेक्ट किया. They'll say what is this company about, right? And hence we never provide certificates by ourselves. Certificates are provided by Prodmark Consultants Private Limited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello, Admin.
Hi, Edwin.
Yeah,
So
Prathamesh,
actually,
yeah.
actually, मैं थोड़ा specific question था. I just wanted to ask if actually I have 18 months of experience, so 1.5 year. So I have कि 2 साल से ज़्यादा experience लगता है if you want to go to Prodman roles. So is
No,
it true?
it's
Like
not 23,
18
it's
months.
12 months. So if I tell you, I cannot reveal the name of my college, but my college is pretty famous for product management. अब तुम्हें पता है कि I am Bangalore, I am Lucknow, these are more famous colleges in the product management. And in my college, the minimum experience is 12 months. If Kaustav is here on the group, on the meet, he can also tell because he is from I am Bangalore only, current student. So 12 months is the minimum criteria that you should have for getting into Prodman roles.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, another question. Actually, I have 7 in my profile. 7 in my 12. So, am I done for consulting and finance?
Yes,
I
see,
just wanted to clarify.
yeah, somebody has. Okay, Prathamesh, see, 7-7, if I tell you in SIP, it might impact you, but in the final placements, it might not. See, some companies do filter. I do not deny that, but then if I tell you Accenture, abhi main last year हैरान था, I was literally surprised. I saw at least 15 students getting into Accenture. I was like, maybe हमारे बच्चे जाते हैं Accenture. So 7 CGPA वाले भी थे वहाँ. And Accenture as an organization for consulting is not bad. Given you want to be in IT roles, तो वहाँ के tech consulting roles would be definitely good for you, right? So,
Right.
हाँ, but if you expect कि McKinsey से आ जाए, BCG से आ जाए, Bain से आ जाए, I would मतलब offense here,
Okay.
go into the placement committee. You might get a shortlist. No offense here if somebody is from Placecom. I mean the mentors, of course, you guys would join college. So Himani is on the chat. We have recently launched Nestle Cultivate. हाँ, so Nestle में भी वो program start हो गया है. So see, Colpal होता है. Colpal is Colgate का. Then Nestle का होता है. Then Axis Bank का भी होता है. These are the competitions that happen somewhere in the month of May, June itself. HUL Foundation and everything. McKinsey का forward leadership program होता है. 1 lakh has already completed. 1 lakh they'll probably begin in April itself. है ना? Yes, you have this question on the chat. Tips for finance role seeker 987 profile 40 months CFA L1. See, CFA L1 will help you. Yes, 40 months experience. Investment banking में problem नहीं आएगी. Maybe some coffin roles they do not kind of take students who have more than 3 years of experience before MBA. 2-3 NISM certificates, really good. I think then you just keep a focus on these buckets. तुम्हारे पास certificates भी हैं. PORs देख लो. Like if I tell you, मेरे time पे I requested my graduation professor कि sir, please, I was someone passed out 3 years ago. I have got into this particular college. आपके college का नाम रोशन कर रहा हूँ मैं. Please give me a point because I was just a part of this club. I cannot write only one POR in my CV. The profile is, the placements are very competitive. And then they approved 1 point for a particular club or committee even when I was not a member of that club. So वो देख लो यश. साथ में if you do not have internship or life project, go with that. And one more thing, guys. जैसे finance की यश you are talking about. So finance में you can have M&A, financial modeling, equity research, derivatives, portfolio management, investment banking, wealth management, investment management, corporate finance, commercial banking. At least there are 10-12 roles. तो अगर आपके पास 5-6 roles की चीजें already है, why not do a project and write the other 4 keywords as well, which are pertaining to the other roles? Then whatever company is coming to your campus, your CV would be shortlisted, right? So always try to maximize the chances. Yeah, one.
Hello, admin. Yes, I have actually already enrolled for the Prodmark Consultant Life project, but as you mentioned, there are still 70, 80 days. What else can I go for?
Yeah, see, if you guys want to do some dashboard type of a program now, then for the very first time, we have launched Power BI program as well as a certification.
Okay.
ठीक है, number one. Number two, आपको किसमें करना है वरुण? कौन से
Operations में.
ऑपरेशंस में करना है ना?
Yes.
KPMG Six Sigma is hands down the best. अगर and of course it's very costly as well, I guess 40-50K. अगर वो नहीं करना है, then you can go with the Six Sigma projects with some other institutes. I do have that message, you know, I did a research last year, तो मेरे पास message है, I'll put it on the WhatsApp group. ठीक है?
Sure. Okay,
Okay.
and one more thing, as you mentioned about Power BI and Advanced Excel. So, are these things like, I mean, it will add impact to my CV?
Yeah, see, it makes your CV balanced. देखो, Power BI can create an impact because a lot of
Okay.
company, if I tell you particularly about my internship, it was solely on Power BI. The
Okay.
dashboard बनाने dynamic,
हाँ.
right? So Six Sigma Prathamesh green belt अच्छा रहता है generally. And now, if I tell you Advanced Excel, I personally say to my students कि भाई Advanced Excel, just do it for learning. If you say to a recruiter कि मेरे को Advanced Excel आता है, they'll simply say we will hire a data analyst for 20,000 a month. They'll do Advanced Excel for us, है ना? But to make your CV balanced, you should do these two certifications.
Okay,
ultimately.
because as far as I know, like I've worked on both, so Excel is a bit connected with Power BI. I mean, you can transfer the data directly and
yes,
वैसे ही
yes,
वो
yes,
dashboard बन जाता है.
yes, correct.
Uh,
But
okay,
अपने
so
CV में
हाँ.
कैसे लिखोगे ये चीज? Your CV needs to have every point approved, है ना?
Yes,
इसलिए कहीं
yes,
ना
yes.
कहीं से करना पड़ेगा course, even if you are already aware of it.
अच्छा, ठीक है. So I'm thinking I'll go for a Six Sigma course or a KPMG course in operations to just add on more points, you know.
Yeah, please.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
है ना?
Hello, admin.
Yeah, Ravi.
So I have one more question related to the certifications. Like I have completed Google Professional Digital Marketing course and Professional Project Management and multiple HubSpot courses. I'm interested in marketing related jobs in the future. So the courses that I mentioned you, do they have any real value in the
Yeah, देखो,
campus, in the CV?
again, same thing, guys. Certifications will always balance your CV. जैसे मैंने last में bucket लिखी है ना, treat it as a bucket that balances your CV. If you say कि certificate के base पे I'll get a job, no. Even my younger brother can do this certificate today when he is not even eligible for CAT, right? Hence, you need to have other things as well. So Ravi, yes, it will help, but it will not solely help, right? मतलब understand this thing that even if your CV is very good on one bucket, two bucket, three buckets, that doesn't suffice if you want to have a desired. I did not get my desired internship, to be very honest. It was very good. It was a well-paid internship. My batchmates were भाई तेरे को तो मजे आ गए, but I was अंदर से कि नहीं यार, I could have done better. I had an international experience before my MBA, and I was not able to leverage it. Why? Because I was also having this rigid mindset कि यार मेरे तो 4 बकेट बहुत अच्छे हैं, अकेडस मेरा बहुत अच्छा है, मैं अपने कॉलेज का भी टॉपर था ग्रेजुएशन में, मेरा तो हो ही जाएगा. बट देन आई वाज कॉम्पीटिंग विद the same people who were in the same college, so they were not dumb. They also had very good points, and ultimately they got an edge just because their all buckets were sorted. Okay, and this is the answer that I'm giving to everyone.
So one more question, like I know, like in the bucket that you have provided, internships, live projects, and case competition have more value than certification for
Yes,
obvious reasons.
yes.
So
Because
do we? Oh, sorry. So do the platform, the MBA partners, do they provide internships and case competitions as well? Like you mentioned, live projects.
yes, life project internship treated as same here. You know, we are flexible enough. The work is same, the work is similar. If you want to show it as an internship, you will get a certificate of internship. है ना? ठीक है. So a good question by Rishikesh that colleges provide. See, colleges tie up with a lot of companies. है ना? Your college might have tie up with Skilled Sapien. Like in my college, it had a tie up with Takshashila Consulting. Now, why I do not recommend doing a course from the tie up that your college has is, number one, if your batch has 300 students, 150 students do it, how would you get a benefit out of it? When an interviewer comes on campus to take your interview, उसको तो आधे बैच ने सेम ही पॉइंट लिखा है ना. You have the same point, from same place, you will not get any benefit. Na? Ultimately, it's just for learning. So just think that you need to get better than your batchmates. If you do something which is very common, जैसे a lot of students tell me कि सर ये वाली जगह से मुझे ये मिल रहा है, like let's take an example of Coursera, very common. How would you get a benefit? Everyone do it. You know, NGO, very common. A lot of students, even I was preparing students for GDPI admissions, and I am Amritsar में I guess CV required होता है. I'm not sure if anyone of you has given that process. A lot of those students were writing about NGO, and I was like, ठीक है अभी MBA start में you do write it, but do not go with the hope of NGO to sell you through an MBA. ठीक है? So likewise, Rishikesh, yes, your college might and see, not all colleges provide it. Your college might provide it, but then it might not be beneficial because half of your batch would do it, and it simply, you know, serves as a placeholder in your CV कि ठीक है फिलर है, एक लाइन डाली हुई है कि मैंने operations का कोर्स किया है, as simple as that. ठीक है?
Sir, the question was actually you told that you mentioned that these certifications have high price, about 40K, 50K. So
हाँ.
as it is included in our fees already, like in our for our curriculum.
नहीं
So
नहीं
like why
curriculum में
should I
certification included नहीं होता, they do charge the fee.
Okay, like I actually am planning for like SIOM Nashik. So they like provide their Grant Thornton's SAP certification. So like
हाँ.
if I go by outside, it may like it may be expensive.
Yes,
So
it will cost you, but I'll still suggest कि GT का तो कर लेना, but GT के अलावा भी कहीं से कर लो, even if let's say you are able to find a little less expensive place. Why? Because Grant Thornton का operations का certificate जब आप करोगे, आपका आधा बैच करेगा, you will not get benefit. You will get learning out of it, of course. Nothing goes in vain, but वो benefit नहीं मिलेगा. And you know, I had my friend Apurv, I think he is in Deloitte now. He is also from SIIM Nashik. So he had a manufacturing experience. तो उसको ऑपरेशंस कंसल्टिंग के लिए डिलॉयट ले गई थी. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में कोई प्रोजेक्ट करो. ही वाज माय वेरी क्लोज फ्रेंड, ही इज फ्रॉम माय होम टाउन, एंड व्हेन ही वाज गेटिंग इनटू SIM Nashik, I was like, bro, you should repeat, but then he proved me wrong because he really got a very good role. And so for you Rishikesh, I think you are in a very good college when it comes to operations. वो ज्यादा फेमस नहीं है, I don't know why. IIM Mumbai has a hype over it. हाँ, but do get a manufacturing experience if you do not have. Okay.
yes, sir, I have a 24 months experience in manufacturing.
बस फिर तो यार देन इट वर्क्स. तुम्हें सर्टिफिकेशन की बस एक वो एज आई सेड ना, बकेट को प्लेस होल्डर बनाने के लिए कर लो.
Yeah,
might not be very important for you.
okay.
Cool guys, I think it's around an hour. Which Canva course is desirable? अरे Canva का course मत करो प्रथमेश. We give Canva if you enroll with a case competition, you get Canva premium access for 1 year free. ठीक है, तो वो प्रीमियम में इतने सारे फीचर्स वैसे ही हैं, तुम्हें करने की जरूरत नहीं. ठीक है, कैनवा वगैरह के कोर्सेज मत करो. Akash, as a mentor, you have a question or you have something to pitch?
Yeah, I actually had something to pitch. I had to share my experience because that was something which I had desired of. So earlier I had an experience in operations, and when I was coming to TISS, definitely I was switching my domain. And when I was switching that, I definitely had a presumption in my mind that whenever I do sit for my SIPs, the first question the interviewer would have that, ठीक है आपने operations तो कर लिया, लेकिन HR के लिए what are the pre-experiences or anything desirable which actually help you to connect to HR, and why are you switching to HR? So when I did my live project with MBA Partner, it actually gave me opportunities on the learning aspect, definitely, but also I could connect my story with regards to how the learning experience of these internships or the live project which had been given to me, I could connect them well in my interview. So the narration aspect, if there are some students who are switching the domain, and in MBA there's a very general tendency, but the interviewers do tend to have an understanding that why is the switch being happening. And एक live project से first of all you show your competency, you show your desire, and then post of it you actually highlight that you are well versed with that aspect, and you definitely have an edge with regards to your other course mates who may or might not have done the same. So that was my SIP experience, and my SIP interview for which I got selected for. It went on for around 25 minutes, and a majority chunk of it was on my live project. So it shows the necessity aspect of it, और कितना important हो सकता है कि आपका live project जो आप करो, the interviewer might find it very useful, may be curious because of that aspect, and hence that may be a conversion factor for you, which was for mine.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
that was the only aspect.
Vijay Nakash, it reminds me of one of our students. She's quite occupied with her internship. It has begun day before yesterday only for her. She is into AT Carney, the fourth consulting company. She's from VIT Vellore, and a very timid individual that came to me as a student last year. कि सर मैं तो fresher हूँ, मेरा कुछ होगा नहीं. Please give me 2 projects in operations and marketing. And Carney is famous about operations consulting, and I was really shocked. मेरे को shortlist नहीं आई थी during my day, and she got into Carney for her summers. So yeah, I mean these projects definitely help. Meanwhile, other mentors, Costa, anyone, if you have anything to share,
Yeah.
feel free.
I have a point to make. Like, it may happen that you have to make different resumes for different sectors itself, like consulting, marketing, and broadband separately also. So these projects help you there exactly, because sometimes it may happen your placements can happen in a cohort wise or cluster wise as well, that print companies will come first or marketing companies will come second. Then you may have a better chance when you actually personalize your CV according to the sector as well. And this is where these projects will help. If you do if you feel you don't have, like, you have already enough certificates for like marketing, and you don't want to do more, so you can always take up consulting projects and fin projects as well to make your CV more personalized for that sector as well.
Very, very good point here, Costa. I totally missed it. So yeah, guys, in your MBA, you are allowed to have more than one CV. Like, I never wanted to be in finance during my internship, but I got into finance, and luckily, finance is very tough here. It kind of makes you sit for 12, 15 hours a day. Gives you good, but then you do not get time to spend. So now, what Costa has just mentioned is that do not go with the fact that मेरे को तो marketing में ही जाना है या मुझे तो operations में जाना है. Placements are very random sometimes, because it begins with a total group of students to be placed. और वहाँ पे क्या है, first come first serve है. You get a shortlist by, let's say, a company like Deloitte. तुम्हें नहीं भी जाना है, if you give a interview, you get into it, right? And sometimes what happens is कि तुम्हारी प्रोफाइल वाली कंपनी आ ही बाद में रही है और आधा बैच प्लेस हो गया, and hence you get a FOMO कि मैं क्या करूं. So it's very important that do not only focus on one profile. Always try to maximize the number of options that suits your previous experience or previous graduation profile as well. And hence, a lot of students prepare 2 CVs, 3 CVs, basically multiple CVs. आपने एक CV में डाल दिया कि मान लो लेट्स से मैंने प्रोडक्ट में मार्केटिंग का प्रोजेक्ट किया है, दूसरे में डाल दिया कंसल्टिंग का करा है, तीसरे में डाल दिया प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट या फाइनेंस, राइट? सो दिस इज आल्सो समथिंग व्हिच इज very important, because ultimately you never know which company gives you a shortlist and takes your interview first. ठीक है? So that's very, very important. MBA में ऐसा नहीं है कि ठीक है I will pick. You do not get a liberty to pick the company or a profile. ठीक है? Thanks, Costa, for having this point. Muskan has a question. Should I go with CFI, FM? Yeah. Definitely. But see, one more thing, Muskan, certification आप जितने भी करो, you can always put it in one line only. So when you do it, it will have some impact, but वो एक ही line में आके रह रहा है. So if you want to maximize the number of points, maximize the number of keywords, that ultimately maximizes your shortlist. इसके साथ साथ एक project भी करो, क्योंकि एक line will not help you. मतलब again एक line से भी बनता है, but not much. Just as an add-on, yes, you should. We are done with 1 hour, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we are good to go with this session. I think I'm really very happy around 50 of you have joined. Yeah.
Yeah, admin, I have one last question. Like, I kind of told you my profile pretty much. So I'm interested in marketing, and I would probably get admission into IIM Rohtak or in IIFT Kolkata. So during my MBA, I will be targeting marketing roles. So what would be your advice? Like, I do not have any internship, but I have a club experience related to marketing in my undergraduation, and I do not have work ex.
I'll give you a contact of both these colleges of student, because in college के बच्चे थे last year. So there was one girl, I guess Shivani. She would be your senior if you join IIM Rohtak. So do a project, I'll simply say, because और कुछ है भी नहीं अभी करने के लिए. Do an internship or a project in marketing, and as I mentioned कि when you do an internship or project, make sure it is impactful. Content writing करने अगर जाओगे, या normal sales का काम करने आओगे project में, it might not help you in your placements. So maybe if you want, you can be a part of MBA Partner Prodma Consultants only, है ना? Do that internship, get engaged for 2 months, learn out of the best class people, है ना? We have mentors who are actually into big FMCG companies, है ना? तो वो कर लो. साथ में क्या है, मार्केटिंग के लिए कोई SPSS का या ऐसा कुछ टूल कर लो, right? Which is very common and important once you get into the marketing rules for the research and analytics part. And I think that would be good enough in the next 2 months. Case competition कर लो if you want to, do something more on the marketing part, है ना? ये 3-4 चीजें कर लो basically. Ultimately, see, for all of you, again I'm reiterating, यही 8-10 buckets हैं जो सामने लिखी हुई हैं. इसके ऊपर, इसके नीचे, इसके अंदर कुछ नहीं है, इसके बाहर बेसिक. Everything is included here, right? Now you have to decide where are you weak, and likewise you have to improve it. As simple as that, है ना? ठीक है? I think no further question, guys. If any mentor has anything to pitch, please feel free to go ahead. Otherwise, I'm really, thankful to all of you. I know that most of the mentors here, they are doing their internships. So thank you so much for coming here on a very short notice. And probably, guys, I think we have covered almost everything. So yeah, if you want to join MBA Partner, we have this till Saturday EOD early bird 20 as a coupon code. Feel free to go there and enroll for it. And if you have any doubts, feel free to DM me on the WhatsApp group. You will find my contact number as an admin, and you can ping me. And all the best, mentors, for your internship, for your work experience. यहाँ पर भी some of you are in the second year or pass out as well. And cool, guys. I think be in that group. Probably from 10th, not probably, I think mostly from 10th of April, we'll be beginning our projects and everything. So, of course, those sessions and everything gets recorded, but I would say recordings Tekna is not that much impactful. So, if you want, be a part of MBA Partner before 10th of April, and feel free, if you have any doubts.